Hello everyone and welcome to TTG's webinar with travel technology provider Intuitive. I am Maddie Barber, Special Product Editor at TTG Media, and I'm joined today by Andy Keeley, who is Commercial Director at Intuitive. Hi Andy, thanks for joining me.
Hi Maddie, hi, nice to see you.
Great to have you. So during this webinar, we're going to be giving you an overview of Intuitive, so that's who they are and what they do. We are going to be putting a special focus on Deal Finder, which is Intuitive's latest product launch. We're going to be covering what it does, who it's for, and detail some of its USPs. We're going to be talking about why it's beneficial to tour operators and online travel agents. And we're also going to be talking about how Deal Finder can help improve user experience and increase conversion. So to do that, Andy's going to be giving you a handy demonstration of the platform a bit later, and also be sharing some examples of the success stories that Intuitive has seen so far. We're also going to cover how to go about implementing Deal Finder in your own company, and also talk about an exciting offer that is exclusively for viewers of this webinar. So you can listen on to hear details of this offer and then inquire below via the relevant link. So kicking off with a bit about Intuitive, a bit of an introduction. Who are Intuitive and what do you do?
Yeah, sure. Firstly, just want to thank everyone who's joined the session, taking the time out today. I hope over the course of this webinar to unveil a bit of a step change in technology for travel companies, certainly in terms of their ability to improve customer experience and an online conversion, but we'll get into the detail of that in a moment. In terms of Intuitive, we're a travel technology company, been around for about 18 years, so established business, predominantly in terms of reservation technology for tour operators, online travel agents and wholesalers. That's kind of the booking engine at the heart of those businesses, basically. We have about 50 people down in South London and leading brands using the system such as Thomas Cook, Love Holidays, uTravel, Castle Wagonly, the Ten Group, and many others. And they either use the full Res platform or one of our three other modular applications, one of which is Deal Finder, which we'll come on to.
Okay, great. So do you want to tell me a bit about Deal Finder now? What is it? When did it launch? And what service does it offer?
Yeah, certainly. So Deal Finder can give any travel company with an online presence instant search capabilities, basically sort of removing any friction for their client in terms of searching and filtering to isolate the perfect holiday for them. It's effectively a super fast search, which is done by creating a really large and comprehensive cache of the customer's travel product. So from a tech perspective, it's cutting edge technology, caching technology with an instant search API on the front end of it. We launched it at the back end of last summer in conjunction with delivering the new Thomas Cook website, and we launched it as its own standalone product at the back end of last year. And this year we've been bringing more and more customers and suppliers on board to the platform.
Okay, great. And exactly who in the travel industry or working in travel would benefit from using Deal Finder?
Well, pretty much any travel company that sells sort of dynamically packaged or hotel-only product online, or who wants to sell online. But I guess especially companies that are hampered by the speed of their website today, or hampered by the sort of how specific and how narrow the customer has to search to get their holiday products back. So really, if you're looking to grow your online business, if you're looking to improve your reputation by having cutting edge tech on your website, if you're looking to improve conversion or user experience, then Deal Finder can slot in to really help achieve that. It works with any reservation platform, so it's not tied to any of the other Intuitive technologies. So a totally standalone product to slot in at the search part of your online proposition.
Okay, great. And why did Intuitive decide to develop Deal Finder? Was there a gap in the market for this kind of product, or did you kind of act in response to changes in like market trends?
Yeah, okay. Well, so let's get into the detail a little bit more then. So I guess we all know that, or you've had friends or family or yourself experience that people say, well, why do I have to put in a specific date? I don't know exactly when I want to go. Or I have to put I can't even put a country in. Why do I have to put a resort in? I don't know exactly where I want to go. and we've got used to a world of relatively slow searches and very specific criteria for those searches. Now, there's a reason for that. It's not just that the sort of tour operators or travel companies or the tech providers have been particularly obtuse or difficult here. It's to do with the supply chain. So travel's like a wonderfully interconnected marketplace in terms of how a tour operator, a dynamic packager, an online travel agent accesses the product that ultimately sends the customer off on holiday. They're connected to a GDS, some low-cost airlines, some bed banks, some wholesalers. They might have direct contracts, chains, channel managers. Now, all of those isolated suppliers are all in different systems, and when you come and ask a question, can I go on holiday on the 1st of September for 7 nights, 2 people from Gatwick to Majorca? You have to go and ask all of those independent systems live that question. And that's why you can't, without a solution like this, you can't say, well, actually, I'd like to go anywhere hot in September for under £500 per person, for example. So to do that, you need a really big cache. You need basically to have pre-calculated all of the answers to any question you're going to get asked so that you can instantly reply to any question. It's like kind of how Google works for its search. They don't find the answer every time you ask a question. It's stored there in a massive database or something along those lines. And we brought a bit of that to the travel industry. So what you have to do is we have to have access to all of the supply, build all of the possible permutations for every departure date, every occupancy, every duration, every meal basis, every room type. And this can get into many millions, if not billions of results. But then we can ask the question really quickly, well, actually, show me the best offers, or show me the best holidays to go in September. Show me the best holidays going from the southeast with Wi-Fi, a gym and a golf course. And then just respond only the cheapest and best options off the back of that. Now, it's not that caching particularly is new to the industry, but only the very biggest and best brands have been able to have the tech capability to do it. And even then, lots of them have only maybe sort of put a subset of their products in it. So a lot of companies will have things like an Inspire Me or a special offers search or something like that, not maybe the confidence or the breadth of this big database to drive your primary search on the website, i.e. that first search tool that you get to on the website, powering that off a cache. And to do that, you need to have this accurate, resilient, comprehensive big file of all of your prices and availability to do that. So when we come on through the rest of this webinar and into the demonstration, there's 2 parts to this. It's the supplier caching capabilities, but then also this super fast search and this broad search to ask any question that you want to.
Okay, great. And we've talked about increasing online conversion here a bit, but exactly how is Deal Finder going to help tour operators and OTAs do that?
Well, it's going to dramatically give them the option to dramatically change their search tool and improve their search results and filtering. So speed wins ultimately. I mean, we are, it's a product of our current environment where, our attention span has been reduced to that of a small insect. And I think it's, about 8 seconds of attention, I think now. And it kind of, everyone expects instant search results, and any other application or website you use, you expect instant page loading. And then, this isn't just vanity. This has a genuine effect on people's sort of trust in your brand, trust in your website, and the time they will spend with you on that site. So really, it gives you. It increases their speed of response, gives them the ability then to really hone in intuitively on, let's say you've got 10,000 results, well, let's narrow that down really quickly by fast filters and get to the holiday that's most suited to me. So that will all improve the UX, the user experience, the design, the page speed, And then ultimately that will have an effect on conversion as well, or does have an effect on conversion. The other thing I would say is that in terms of mobile apps and mobile websites, it becomes even more important, because I think maybe on desktop we have a kind of a bit of a tolerance for expecting a little bit of a wait, or there's a, you can you'll see the little timer go round. You don't even have that, or you don't even have that option on a mobile or an app. So you don't, if there is a delay, you're thinking that there's something actually not working. So yeah, even more utility on those platforms as well.
Okay, great. And I mean, you've already mentioned a lot of benefits that Deal Finder has and of using it has. But do you have any more kind of benefits to add to what you said already?
What should we have a look? So that might be the best way to talk through something, if that's okay. So if I just bring up screen share here. Okay. So what we have here is this is our presentation of the Deal Finder. It's a demo site. It's called dealfinder.io. Anyone can go to it and start using it and start testing out the technology and the calls on here as well. Ultimately, obviously, but the Deal Finder is an API that will be integrated into your travel website. So the presentation that you choose to do, or the tour operator OTA choose to do, will be down to their own desires and brand. This is just a good way of us bringing to life what is ultimately an API product, a technology product. So we've got a pre-started search here, but obviously we can clear this off and start again. But ultimately, what we've got here is a beach. Someone searching for a beach holiday to Spain from Gatwick in the whole of June. We could add all different criteria in there, and we get instant responses to every change that we do on this search. So anytime we add another variable in, it updates the number of packages, updates the number of options that we have. So we've got 1,200 potential holidays here, and we're actually only showing 307 because we've decided to filter in on beach. If I took that out, then we go back to our 1,200 original results. So there's a lot you can do in terms of the search tool here. Here we've decided to add in themes. We've decided to give multi-destination select. That could be country level, region level, resort level. We've done individual or airport groups. You could do a whole month search, and as we move through the months, we choose July, we update, and we get brand new prices. We could choose to search by specific date. If you want to go to more of a traditional usage, where you are actually asking for a specific date, just with plus minus days flexibility. But this is totally up to the travel company how they want to implement this API. I'm just showing some of the flexibility. So if we move away from the top search for a moment, because there's a bit of a choice to make from a UX perspective, whether you put the effort into the search tool here and give the functionality here, or you rely on the filters down the left-hand side. So I'm going to let's say focus in on 5-star properties with at least 4 out of 5 TripAdvisor rating, and let's say has to have good Wi-Fi. So quite quickly I get down to 64 holidays that meet my criteria. And now look, I must stress again, some of this functionality you'd be thinking probably maybe as a non-technologist, or as a, if you're not been on lots and lots of different travel websites, the very best websites in the world obviously have this sort of technology. But it is not common to have this sort of speed and breadth of searching and filtering on the majority of tour operators and OTAs that you'll find in the UK, in Europe, or globally. So a lot of this is, I mean, to be fair, is expected by a user, you know, or someone trying to purchase a holiday. It's just not readily available technology. So we've used the filters down the left-hand side. There are more you could add there too. We can also, it's returned us the cheapest price based on some profiles. We'll come into profiling a bit later on. We can also expand this particular holiday to see the other prices for different departure dates in the month. We can filter by meal basis. We can change the sort ordering, and all of these calls are, you know, again, instant hits on the API to feed this UX. So I think those are those are some of the main features. I'll leave this on because I think as we go through some of the you know, the rest of the description of the product, it'll be useful to show actual examples as we go through as well. But effectively here, big cache of data behind the scenes, literally billions of lines of rows of prices and availability for every departure date, meal basis, room type, duration and occupancy. And we are isolating very quickly the ones most applicable to the search that has been provided.
Great. And did DealFinder offer any kind of like customer profiling opportunities? So would travel companies be able to search by customer type rather than holiday type?
Yes, actually, it's a great feature of it. So what we have here is, so one of the challenges you have with this sort of technology, but with wanting to offer your client go anywhere in September as long as it's beach, is, well, what do you actually put in front of them out of all of those needles in the haystack? Certainly if you're an online travel agent that uses, you know, all of the main suppliers and puts all destinations on offer, you know, that is genuinely millions, as I say, or if not billions of potential things that you could put in front of the customer. So the way that we help support that choice is by these bestseller profiles. And the way to think of that is, of all of the hotels that you have and that you could sell, there's an initial ranking. So imagine for a minute from number 1 to number 10,000. So all things being equal, I want to show this one first, and I want to show this one second, this one third. Okay, well that's fine. That's the starting point. But a very simple use case then may be, well, if someone's searching the whole of Spain in November, maybe I want to show my sort ranking then wants to show Canaries properties first. But if someone searches all of Spain in August, then maybe it's Ned properties. So that's just one very, very brief, simple example of where you would use a different profile to change the sort ordering based on what they were searching for. So there's no overlay, a little bit more complexity. If they were a family compared to a couple, well, we know that because when, you know, the search comes through, you know, it's 2 adults, 2 children, they're searching in November and it's Spain. Well, hang on a minute. So we now know we've got to prioritize Canaries and we've got to prioritize family-friendly properties above maybe ones that are more you know, for couples or for summer-based holidays. If we take that even further, and certainly when you start to merge this with maybe the travel company's CRM and what they know about the customer, if they know that their customer likes golf or, you know, spas or whatever they may have booked previously, you can pass that in as a profile as well. So now we're starting to show them very specifically based on their search dates, based on their previous interests, based on the occupants that are going, based on the destination they've searched for, exactly which first 10 results do we want to show them. Of course, we can keep scrolling and showing, you know, from 10 to 20 and 10 to 30, and they can still use the filters. But it's really important what we choose to put in front of them at this break of the page here, and really probably the first 10 results, you know, are going to be predominantly booked way beyond any of the other ones. So that's how we bring profiling in, is on this bestseller sort ordering. Obviously, when you use the other ones, they're a rather numeric, you know, it's a rather kind of sledgehammer sort ordering at genuinely the lowest price, genuinely the highest price, or the lowest or highest the highest TripAdvisor rating. But the bestseller one is the one that's got the kind of the intelligence behind it to know what to show to the customer.
Okay, great. I know you've mentioned quite a few key selling points that Deal Finder has now, but kind of what are the key and most important unique selling points for Deal Finder? And what makes it different from other holiday search platforms? Exactly what can it do that other platforms can't do?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've mentioned a couple of times that kind of that it's not the idea of creating a travel cache and having a broad search is not entirely new, but it is only the largest brands with the biggest tech teams that have been able to achieve something that is viable for the website. And even then, as I say, they might only use it on in Inspire Me or sort of deals type search, and not use it as their primary search. So there's a few more unique points I'll come on to, but one of the most unique things is that we're bringing this really heavy duty enterprise technology to anybody that wants to have it and wants to be able to integrate it into their website. So that's one thing that makes it unique, is the kind of the accessibility that we're bringing to this rather complex technology stack. In terms of the actual functionality, it's really it's probably the sum of its parts rather than any one thing in particular. We haven't talked a lot about the cache building, the getting, ultimately this is only as good as us getting hold of the tour operators and online travel agents product. So that's the most complicated bit of this. We take cache files in from suppliers, we build cache files, we take contracts from them, we scan them. There's a multitude of different methods that we're doing to build up this cache. And really within there's a lot of magic. There's a kind of how quickly we build that cache, how often it's updated, how accurate it is, the health checks that we run on it, its uptime, its reliability. And there's a huge amount that I could talk for a long time about the effort and and then the features and the value that come out of the quality of the cache. So that's a big part of it. And then combine it with the ability to ask it that instantaneous question, that 300 millisecond search on any type of search, as broad as any search, we can answer that very, very quickly. So yeah, I think the sum of all those things, I think, rather than any particular uniqueness.
Great, absolutely. So if one of our viewers today was interested in purchasing Deal Finder for their company and integrating it into their website, what's the best way to go about that? I mean, what processes would they need to go through in order to make that happen?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, firstly, you've got the sign up box or the inquire sort of details below, or obviously you can find our Intuitive Systems website to get in touch and start that process. But in terms of the actual practicalities of it, the main thing is to validate that supply chain that I've been talking about. Find out who their suppliers are today. Have we already got them in Deal Finder? If not, we'll talk to the suppliers, find out how we get access to the cache, and we'll go and access that data to make it part of the build. So once we've got that, that's the key bit. We need. I've said it a few times today, but we need that supply in here, or we can't sell it on the front end, obviously. So that's the first bit. And then what we would do is we would support their developers, either the people that build their website, either their in-house team or the company that builds their current website, and support them with the API integration, because ultimately, remember here, they are taking an API from us. They need to redevelop their search results to be able to consume this. So we'll help support that. We also need a little bit of supporting data from their existing reservation system in terms of routes, hotel lists, and margins. So we'll help them to find that data that they need to send over to us. But yes, that's how a project would start. Once the cache is building, it's just that integration work onto the website.
Okay. And what is the cost of Deal Finder? Is it a one-off payment? Is it subscription based? I mean, how does kind of the payment process, how is it set
Yeah,
up?
it's so there's no upfront fees for Deal Finder at all. There's no project costs. There's no adding their new supplier. Either, if we didn't have the supplier they needed, we'll do that as part of the roadmap of Deal Finder. So there's no upfront fees. So it's solely an ongoing, fully managed subscription basis. So you're effectively licensing the Deal Finder, and within that is all the hosting at AWS and everything to support the application. And the ongoing price will vary depending on suppliers, size of cache, and number of properties, look ahead dates and things like that. But ultimately, an ongoing monthly subscription.
And then do you offer any try before you buy opportunities?
Well, so let me before I stop this screen share, there is on here there is a developer mode where their developers can come in and they can test the API, see the API, track the calls that are being made. So there's quite a lot of hands-on functionality here. There's obviously also documentation, and we've got a support team to be able to support them through the integration. Just stop that, so I've got you back full screen. But in terms of try before you buy, in terms of the actual overall delivery, no, because there's quite a bit of commitment here from both sides. We've got to start the imports of the suppliers, build the cache for them. They've got to integrate this into their website. So I wouldn't be adverse to like a proof of concept potentially for the, but ultimately it's a reasonably large project to get integrated. So it doesn't really lend itself to a full sort of try before you buy, but obviously we have all the test data and calls available.
Okay, great. And I know that you are currently running an offer for viewers of this webinar today. Would you like to explain to everyone what that is and how they can get that offer? Yeah,
really simply, there'll be no fees in 2021 for anyone that signs up off the back of this webinar. So again, using the link below. So for anyone that signs a 12-month contract, there'll be nothing to pay in 2021 to get you started. So hopefully, making the jump and the investment onto new technology a little bit easier, certainly in what has been a rather trying 12 to 18 months to say the least. So yes, so hopefully for a fresh start on new technology by 2022.
Great. And we're just running out of time, but I just want to ask before we wrap up, is there anything else that our viewers today, tour operators and online travel agents should know about Deal Finder or Intuitive right now?
Well, no, firstly, thanks for the platform today to give me the time to explain that, and I'm very keen to follow up with anyone who wants to know more or needs any of the explanations further developed. In terms of anything else, just very briefly, 3 other products: iVector, which is our full reservation system. So that's end-to-end system, everything from call center, quotes, fulfillment, finance, reporting, contracting. So that's a full enterprise level travel booking engine. We have a system called iVector Rooms, which is our accommodation contracting and channel manager module. We have a sort of globally best of breed accommodation contracting tool. So that's where you don't want to change your full res system, but you load just your contracts in our system. And a product called iVector Switch, which is an API to get access to all of the third-party bed bank, wholesaler, chain, DMC interfaces that we've written to. So those are the 3 other things we do. But if anyone likes to know more, please get in touch or see our website. Great.
Well, thank you very much, Andy, for joining me today and talking all about Intuitive. It's been and Deal Finder, and it's been really interesting to hear about all the technology, and how much it's grown in the past years as well, from leaps and bounds.
Super. Well, no, thanks again for the opportunity, Maddie. Nice to talk to you.
You too. And thank you to everyone for watching and tuning in today. For more training content, you can find that on the Training Hub on t2media.com. And we've got loads of content on there from our destination, hotel, tour operator, and other travel company partners. So please do check that out. And I hope to see you all very soon at meetings and events in person. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks again, Andy.